Welcome back to the TK Breezy channel. It's time for another topic talk, and we've got some stuff to talk about. We've got a nice little update on Mang0, and then we have just some worldwide news that I found kind of interesting, and then EVO talk too. So if this is your first time watching a topic talk video, welcome. And if you like this type of video, make sure you go ahead and like, follow, subscribe. And if you want to hang out live, come over to the channel at twitch.tv/TKBreezy to do everything live. All right. Let's start first with the world news, I guess. Boom. Uber will now let women drivers and riders request to avoid being paired with men starting next month. Uber is launching a new feature in the U.S. that pairs women and drivers and riders. Uber will pilot the program in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Detroit starting next month. So it's about, as they were about to say, about giving women more choice, more control, and comfort when they ride and drive. And that's understandably so. Now, I saw this originally on X, and of course there was a bunch of men in the comments being like, why can't men get the option of choice or whatever like that? Which, look, man, the argument in itself, when it's not being used as some like gotcha or like some other argument, sure, whatever. Like, everyone should be able to choose if they were like, what type of ride you want, I guess, right? But historically, okay, dumbass, is that when there is violence amongst one sex to the other, it's usually male to female violence, right? So clearly they're trying to cut down on that. Now, that's not to say that women can't be the aggressor or anything like that, or that like no man has ever been harassed or assaulted or anything like that. I don't see this as a net negative for literally anyone. Like, but for some reason there's always that one man. There's literally that one man. There's like that. It's like that one guy. Everyone else is like, this doesn't affect me, so I'm whatever. And then there's like, well, what about me? Why can't I pick? Okay. It's like the same type of people when I see the things about like, oh, we have like Smash Sisters. We sometimes run little like small tournaments for the women within the tournament, and then some man's like, why can't I join that tournament? You're already in the tournament, brother. You're in the main tournament, just like they can join the main tournament. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we talking about? It's not a big deal. It does not affect you. You as a man can still go get rides, usually in a much safer capacity than most women can. And you as a man, if you're entering tournaments and you feel the same way about like Smashes or any women sanctioned tournaments, why? It just doesn't affect you, bro. I don't know, man. Anyway, second bit of news, we had a little update on Mang0. And if you had not caught the Mang0 video, it's definitely somewhere in here, or maybe Neorette will link it below. Yeah, he did a small little 30-minute, it actually ended up being like an hour stream where he updated us on everything. And from the cliff notes, the best thing I can say is that, yeah, I mean, like he looks good. Like he looks like everything that I heard him say or that he wants to do seems great. So just off rip, he said he's been sober for 3 weeks. He drinks like non-alcoholic beers every now and then. He said he's got like a lot more done just throughout the time that he's like been away from the internet. Like he's been able to do a lot more stuff with his house. He's been, cleaning, he's been reading, he's been working out, all of that, right? He has recognized that he has been banned. He agreed with everything that's happened as far as like with Melee. He knows that he's lost, like he said, he lost like a good like 80-90% of his income, which is understandable. You get dropped by your longtime sponsor, your stream. You're probably gonna lose quite a bit of subs because you know how people are, and you're now not entering Melee tournaments for like a year or at least, right? But with all that, being thrown against him, lobbed against him, understandably so, he's still like trying to do the work to better himself, and I very much like that. I don't know what that means for the future of his Melee career, but obviously Mang0 is always going to be a super huge part of Melee. It's going to be a year that he's going to be gone at the very least. I know he says he wants to do a lot more other stuff with his stream, and I think that's very cool too. And hopefully the people that want to still support Mang0 will support Mang0. I'm definitely going to be one of those people. I think I've had my sub for Mang0 since for 60 months or something like that. But I think just seeing the reaction to the stuff that has happened has made me feel better. Just about like his headspace and how he's moving and whatnot, and understanding like, yeah, bro, like alcohol has done a lot of for my life. And like then he brought up a couple points that like I truly agree with, like he's been in the public eye since he was like 16 because he's been a top Melee player for like that long. And currently, when you take that break from the internet, bro, coming back is hard. Like, I think every day I try to turn this stream on or whatever, like, it gets harder and harder. And it's not because I don't like streaming. Like, I still very much like streaming, but I just hate, like, I think being on the internet and being part of the internet for so long, and then now seeing how how much the internet has changed to be like so insanely negative, and or so insanely like dunk heavy. Like, everybody wants to say that you're a bad person, or that like everybody wants to get their dunk on you for their clicks, and whatever. It just gets exhausting because like it feels like you're always like tiptoeing literally every line ever, right? And it's just, yeah, bro. It's just like I understood that like immediately because like I've been in that same boat, bro. Like, I mean, I'm kind of in that boat now, not with the worried about like tiptoeing and stuff, but it's just like, yeah, like yeah, bro, it's exhausting. Shit is exhausting. So I definitely got where he was coming from there, for sure. But anyway, just bottom line, Mang0 seems to be doing the work to better lifestyle and whatnot, and I hope to see that like continues. You know what I'm saying? And hope maybe we'll check in like 6 months, see how he's doing. I know he's apparently able to come back within a year, so I guess his next big event would be probably SmashCon 2026 or Supernova 2026 if he waits like that long and still wants to play, right? That would be like his comeback because I think that's the one that will come up around the year, in the summer at least. Anyway, I'm just here to say that I'm proud of my guy, and hope that he sticks to his laurels and ends up making like a more positive impact. Not to say that he doesn't make a positive. He's obviously made a very good and big impact on Melee, but there's a couple blemishes there, and hopefully like he's able to like continue to be like a way more positive role model in the future. So yeah, that was the Mang0 update. And then last but not least, we're gonna talk about EVO real quick. Now I have to bring up two things for EVO because that's in a week, I think. First, EVO numbers are down. We can talk about these numbers almost specifically right here because you can see these are the EVO numbers from last year, right? And then these are the EVO numbers for this year. So yeah, there we go. A little different here. So Street Fighter had 5,200, now we're at 4,200. Tekken had 4,600, and now we have 2,500. Guilty Gear had 2,000, now we're at 1,500. Grand Blue, Grand Blue has 1,300, now we're at 900. City of the Wolves comes in, and although I think it does have pretty good numbers here, I'm thinking City of the Wolves is kind of struggling just a little bit. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. 645 for Mortal Kombat, now at 377, bro. That's a main game, by the way. King of Fighters is here, and I guess like King of Fighters and then Fatal Fury will, you know what I mean? That'd be kind of like the cross-contamination. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, everyone was hyped to see it come back. 570 people entered. And then Under Night is back in the building, another 200 down. Now, I know a lot of people are probably like, damn, these numbers are terrible, like in comparison to last year. But you have to think about this. So EVO introduced multiple EVOs this year, which I think does kind of take away like not the prestige of EVO, because EVO is still a prestigious tournament, but I do think it takes away that like rush of being like, I have to go to EVO, especially if you live near one of those other EVOs. Like we had EVO Japan, now we got like EVO France, we got like the EVO show, we got a lot of EVOs and shit now, right? Two, the economy just sucks. Yeah, the economy is just ass right now, man. Like currently, just everything kind of sucks. So imagine, you especially if you're like one of the people who go to like everything. So if you just went to Combo Breaker and CEO, like unless you're making money like that all day, every day, or you saved up the entire year for this, it's kind of hard to justify going to EVO after that, right? Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't think that EVO is losing its steam by any means. I think some of these games also have a rough time. I mean, obviously Tekken Season 2 put that game under the dirt for a bit. They are clawing their way back, which is good. But yeah, that Season 2 was rough. Guilty Gear, I think, has been kind of just maintaining. It's just kind of been around. I know people really like. I hear complaints about Guilty Gear all the time, like Wild Assault and stuff like that. Grand Blue, I think, actually still pretty good numbers. All things considered. But it's just unfortunate. I feel like I guess Third Strike would be the comparison to Marvel's Capcom 2 because there's no Third Strike this year. But their retro game is Marvel's Capcom 2. And I don't know, bro. Like, it just, maybe 3 would have brought a lot more people. But yeah, going from 1,000 or in 100 interest to 570 is kind of rough. Either way, I'm still gonna be there. I'm still gonna be there because, like, I mean, a lot of my homies are gonna be there. I may not be entering anything, but I will be working on some stuff. It's just, yeah, it's just unfortunate, bro. I don't want to like start dooming on fighting games because I think fighting games are still in a good spot. I think these are overall like still some pretty decent numbers, but yeah, bro, it just does not feel as big as last year. You know, at least our bottom game has more numbers than the bottom game of last year with 377 versus 375, but that's literally it. Every other number has dropped as far as like number 1 to 8 on the game. So I don't know, man. There's a lot that could be said about, you know, these numbers for sure, but in my opinion, in my thought process, is that EVO just well, the economy is fucking EVO a lot harder than like anything else. And then yeah, I mean, Tekken season 2 kind of fucked Tekken for sure. But yeah, there's just a saturation of like, you know, everything is costing more. We're not really making as much money. That's really what it is. Everything costs more. We're really not just making as much money as we once were. So, with that being said, yeah, that's gonna be it for this topic talk. If you're going to EVO, let me know. I'll be there. Stop by the 10-0 booth, maybe the Tekken booth. You might see me over there. And if you're not going to EVO, also let me know why. You know what I'm saying? And what are you going to go to next? Because I'll probably see you there anyway. Your boy definitely be working. So I will catch you guys on the next topic talk. And again, if you haven't came over to the stream yet, make sure you come over to the stream, Twitch.tv/TK Breezy, and I will see you there. Catch you on the next one. Peace.